Hello and welcome to a LEGO Creator Review. This is a 2015 set, I believe, or maybe 2013. It's called like something Roadster, Speed Roadster, something like that. It is a 3-in-1, so there's two builds. This one has some extra stickers on it from the previous owner. This is the main model. I had a phase where like I really wanted to build a Creator 3-in-1 set from this time because there's something about them. They're a very unique style. This sort of like basic, simple yet inspired kind of design. It's all about building. These creator sets from like I'd say 2006 to like 2013. They almost never had minifigures, and the earliest ones that did were very light on that. Most of them are models of like real life objects or larger kind of vehicles, kind of maybe minifigures are compatible in some way, but they're out of scale, like they're more to a real life scale. You see, even those things very large, you can't really fit in there, and that's fine. It's just a different way to do things, and I kind of appreciate it. It sort of harkens back to Model Team, but instead of every set being this gigantic crazy thing, there are ones that are more subdued like this. Like if there was a Model Team set that was like within the $25 to $30 price range, it would probably be this. So that's kind of interesting to think about. It's definitely making use of the pieces that were new at the time, like, these sloped pieces here, this, smoothed off tile here, just like, very smooth. It's trying to kind of carve out the shape in a kind of a modern Lego way where it's sort of like making larger shapes with smaller shapes versus the kind of older approach of Lego models of just having the pieces be the shapes they're supposed to be, if that makes any sense. I think it's kind of nice. These kind of little rims add a little bit to it. They're very silly, but I like seeing them from time to time. White is the primary color of this, which I think works pretty well with little spots of red and such. The bottom, it just reveals that there's just some technique that allows these wheels to spin like that, which, is pretty standard. It's kind of similar to the Lightning McQueen Ultra build, though, which is kind of funny. Like, these sort of, like, hollow bases to these cars while the details are on the outside. Yeah, I think it's pretty good for what it is. Good stuff, good stuff. The engine in the back, that's a cute detail. I mean, I guess it would be ideal if a minifigure could fit into here, but that's not really what it's going for. And I do appreciate that it's not going for that, because there's so many cars, especially realistic cars, that are for minifigures. So, maybe this allows the set to have more breathing room, to not feel so cramped, to maybe include some bigger pieces. I mean, even though this was, at the time, the standard for kind of trying to make something as detailed as possible, it's also kind of refreshing to see something like this that isn't specifically based on some real-life car that exists. It's, obviously, it's a archetype, this kind of thing exists in the real world, like a sports car, but it is allowed to be its own design. It's allowed to have its own things going on. Like, I doubt if this was a Speed Champion set, there would be a see-through thing right there, so you could see, like, an engine, and I doubt that there would be folding doors, because Speed Champion sets don't have movable doors or anything like that, because they're meant to just kind of, be laid there, and that's it. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good design, pretty inspired too. It's the kind of thing I really wanted to build at the time. The other one's a little bit smaller. It's a bit more of like a dragster. This one can actually accommodate a minifigure a little bit. It actually looks pretty decent with him in there, the scale and everything. Lots of studs all around. It's more dense actually in the inside. There's not really a lot to say about this one in particular in comparison. I think the shape, they did the best with what they had, given how a lot of these pieces in this one are very squarish, and it's trying to be a little bit more angular, a little more aggressive. They do what they can with that kind of style. But that's really all there's to say. It is definitely fighting with itself with, all these smooth pieces versus what seems to kind of beg for a angular silhouetted design. But it's a 3-in-1. They have to deal with what's already with the pieces used for one set have to be in, one build have to be in all of them. So I kind of understand that. I think it's a good build, a good set. Nothing crazy, but decent stuff that's fun to build and can just be accessible. That's what Creator 3-in-1 was kind of made for, and what it excelled at for so many years. I think this style has its place, but it's kind of fine that we're kind of going away from that. because we have so many sets like this, ones that kind of are in that classical model team style, that nowadays with creator sets kind of being more about representational objects, it is kind of a shame, because it's like, okay, this is just another Lego series that's becoming representational objects. It's like, you know, the one of the very few original themes that has the capacity for original designs, kind of going away from that a little bit, but not really. It's still Creator 3-in-1. I know I'm talking about the sets after this more than the set itself, but, you know, that's because it's basic. It's like you have to establish what was there to understand what was different. And that's all. Thanks for watching.